So let me bring you up to speed here with what we got. We've got these tires that are 28 by 12 on a 14-inch rim. These were a set of takeoffs that a guy on Facebook Marketplace was selling that were actually from a Viking, so I'm pretty confident that everything should fit upright. Obviously, they're a lot larger than the stock ones are. I think it's going to change the look and kind of modernize it. The original stock tires, they're 25-inch by, what's that, an 8-inch by 12-inch. So, you know, overall, this is a lot beefier wheel. And as we're getting closer to winter, I don't think it'll hurt to have the extra, the extra tread depth to get through the snow. I mean, these obviously work around currently, but they are getting a little short compared to these new ones. These are about maybe a half-inch or so deep, and a lot more aggressive with these new ones. So what I'll do is I'll stick those on. When I got them, with a set of spacers. Hey kitty. They came with a set of spacers to kind of bring the rear width out a little bit on the side by side. You'll see, I mean, if you go with the OEM setup, the rear sized wheels and tires the rear sized tires are a little bit larger in overall size than what the fronts are. They're a little wider. So in this case, all of these tires are the same size. And I think to kind of compensate for some of that, they come with these ones that I purchased came with like an 1.5-inch spacer that'll get on there. So I'll get that set up with the lift, and I'm thinking it should be a pretty quick job. I'd like to see what it looks like overall. I know it'll raise it up a little bit. I mean, the difference between the two is 3 inches, so it's at least going to bring it up 1.5 inches or so, but I think overall it'll make it look a little bit more aggressive, more modern looking, like the machines that are getting sold today. I've always liked to do this on cars and things, is that if you're gonna take the time to take the wheel off, you may as well take a look at your brake pads and things, and kind of make sure that you don't have any torn bushings or anything on any of your control arms. Make sure you don't need to put new pads on new shoes. Let's see. So when I got these wheels, they actually came with a different set of lugs. The first ones I pulled off, the OEM ones, are 19 millimeter. These new ones are 17s. I know they're a bit dirty. They've been in storage for a while, so once we get them cleaned up, I think it'll look pretty sharp. I just like to get them kind of on there, but not snugged up yet, just to make sure the wheel seats well. You know, one thing is I imagine that'll make steering, like turning, maybe a little bit more difficult. You know, it's a little bit more meat on the ground, so you may tear up the grass a little bit. We'll see what it's like. It's not too much work to take them on and off. Sorry about the air compressor. What I've got here is a wheel spacer. So like I said, that's an 1.5 inch spacer, and it just goes on the existing studs of the original assembly here, the original hub. And then it's just going to use the same, they're the 19 millimeter hex nuts that just cinch it on, and then you can see it's got the alternating pattern of new studs so that it can catch the wheel. I know this is a little bit of a no-no, but I've got a 3/8 inch socket that's working for me pretty well, and I'm going to hook it up to my 1/2 inch driver. And that's just because my 1/2 inch socket actually doesn't have the diameter that I need to actually get in here. So we won't go crazy on it, but I think it'll do the job for me. I remember with one of the cars I had, they had wheels similar to this where you had to get kind of a specialty socket, something like a real narrow diameter barrel for it to get down into the recesses of the wheel. That's not something that I had expected when doing this project. Let's see, so I need, and actually for the same reason, I'm going to use that same 3/8 inch driver to get the nuts on this guy, because of the same reason. He's got kind of a deep well that the studs come through. If I was a professional, I would probably have all those tools on hand, but I'm not. So maybe it'll be a purchase in the future. I tell you guys, it looks a little bit like a moon buggy or something now. It's kind of neat. You can see how small the stack of old tires is. We've got these new ones on here. Pretty quick and easy job, maybe half an hour at most. I think because it's so easy, it's easy enough to revert back to the original ones too if for some reason we don't like them. I like how they look though. So it sits a little taller, which isn't really what I was going for. I kind of just like the meatier tires. So maybe a future improvement would be like a lowering link or something for it. I don't know. Just playing around with it at this point. I'll have to see how it rides. Yeah, I can't tell. You know, you can tell you're riding higher when you're driving around on it. It obviously can clear the land a little bit better with fallen limbs and branches and things like that. I wouldn't say the handling is improved or not improved. You know, maybe a little grippier, but I don't notice it like tearing up the grass any worse than it had before. I kind of like the look of it though. My wife says it's a little too chunky, looks like a Tonka car, which is probably true, but it's, you know, it's for fun. So anyways, that was a quick and easy job. Something you guys might consider. For me, I always have a hard time picturing what it would look like. So if nothing else, you can see what it looked like before and after with the upgraded wheel size. Everything seems to clear fine. I mean, there's a lot of room in the wheel well, so I wouldn't be too concerned with rubbing or anything. But yeah, that's about it for this one. We'll catch you on the next one.